The first images draw us back to the heart of Alberta, where the familiar landscapes whisper of stories we already know. The rolling hills, the quiet barns, the gentle neigh of horses remind us that Heartland is more than just a ranch. It is a home, a symbol of healing, and a place where broken souls are mended. Season 19 opens with Amy, standing at the paddock, her eyes calm yet full of unspoken weight. She has been through storms that would break many, but her strength has always been rooted in the horses she loves and the family that stands behind her. The camera drifts across the ranch, showing Jack fixing a fence, his weathered hands steady as always. Lou walking through town with determination in her steps, balancing leadership and family, and Tim restless pacing near the barn, his fiery energy still burning as he tries to guide the next chapter of his life. The family remains the core of Heartland, but time has left its mark. There are scars from loss, moments of victory, and memories that cannot be erased. Amy walks toward Spartan's stable, the horse who has been her companion through every battle. Spartan lowers his head gently, and in that small gesture, we see the bond that has carried Amy through grief and joy. But even as the sun shines on their reunion, the air feels different this season. There is an unspoken question. Will Heartland continue to be a safe place? Or will change push them into unknown paths? This sense of change is the heartbeat of Season 19. The first hints of mystery come in soft touches. A truck driving down the gravel road, its tires stirring dust that floats in the sunlight. Amy pauses, her gaze fixed on the approaching figure. The music shifts low and steady, telling us that this is no ordinary arrival. Someone new is stepping into the world of Heartland. Someone who will challenge what Amy believes and awaken emotions she thought were buried. The ranch itself mirrors this tension. Fences creak, doors swing with the wind. The land feels alive, as if it knows that something important is coming. And Amy, standing tall against the horizon, looks ready, not just for another challenge with the horses, but for a chapter of her life that will test her courage and her heart. The stage is set, and the season promises not just familiar warmth, but unexpected storms, and this is only the beginning. The dust rises as the truck finally stops at the edge of the ranch. The door opens and a tall figure steps out, his boots hitting the ground with quiet confidence. This is Nathan, a man whose story has not yet been told in Heartland. His presence feels both new and familiar, like a shadow that belongs yet does not fit. The camera lingers on his steady eyes that have seen hardship, loss, and the kind of struggles that leave marks on the soul. He is not here by accident. He has come searching, though even he is not sure for what. Amy notices him first, her hand resting lightly on Spartan's mane. There is no greeting, only silence, the kind of silence that speaks louder than words. Nathan nods politely, his voice calm. But his tone carries a history that makes everyone wonder, what has this man been through? What brings him here, and what secrets does he hold? The ranch, always a place of healing, now feels like a crossroad, a meeting ground for two stories about to collide. Jack approaches with his steady stride, protective as always. He sizes Nathan up with the quiet wisdom of a man who has seen strangers come and go. You here to work, or you here for trouble? Jack's eyes say. Even without words, Lou watches from a distance. Curious but cautious, she knows that every new face in Heartland carries both possibility and risk. And Tim, never one to hide his feelings, narrows his eyes, sensing that Nathan's arrival will stir things he cannot control. But it is Amy who feels the strongest pull. Because Nathan is not just another visitor, he is a horseman. And the moment he steps closer to the paddock, the horses respond, their ears perk, their bodies shift, as if they recognize a spirit that speaks their language. Nathan reaches out a hand, calm and unhurried, and a restless colt that no one could tame edges forward. Drawn to his touch, the entire ranch falls silent, because in that instant, they all understand Nathan is not ordinary. He carries a gift, a connection, one that rivals Amy's own. The camera captures Amy's face, her expression caught between surprise and caution. This is her world, her place. Her bond with the horses has always been sacred. But now someone else has stepped into that space. Someone who could challenge her, teach her, or perhaps break down the walls she has built around her heart. The music swells, not loud but deep. A reminder that the greatest changes in life come not from storms, but from quiet arrivals. And so Nathan stands, boots in the dirt, eyes on the ranch, unknowingly at the center of a story that will test loyalty, trust, and the meaning of family. Heartland has always been about healing, but sometimes healing comes not from comfort, But from being pushed into places we never thought we would go, Nathan is that push, and Amy, whether she admits it or not, feels it already. The ranch has always been a place where family holds everything together. But with Nathan's arrival, the balance begins to shift. Small moments ripple through the household, and every glance, every silence, every word unspoken tells us that change is here, and it will not leave quietly. At the dinner table, the family gathers, Jack at the head as always, his voice calm but heavy with unspoken judgment. Lou tries to carry the weight of being both sister and mayor, her words sharp at times, protective at others. She questions Nathan's reason for being here, not out of cruelty, but out of the duty she feels to guard what Amy has rebuilt. Tim leans back in his chair, restless, his suspicion plain. He has never been one to trust easily, and Nathan's quiet confidence rubs against his fiery pride like steel against flint. Sparks are bound to fly. Amy sits among them, her eyes moving between her family and Nathan. She does not defend him, but she does not condemn him either. Her silence becomes louder than any argument, because the family can see it. The small shift in her, the curiosity, the recognition, the beginning of something she herself does not yet understand. Jack notices it, Lou fears it, and Tim resists it with every word because in Heartland, love and trust are never just personal choices. They affect everyone tied to the ranch. The tension spills into the day's work. Nathan offers his help with the horses, his methods simple, patient and grounded yet effective. Lou questions whether he belongs there. Jack watches carefully, trying to decide if Nathan is a risk or a gift. Tim confronts him outright, his tone sharp, his words edged with challenge. "This is not your home. Don't act like it is." Nathan does not raise his voice, does not fight back. His silence unsettles them even more, because silence in Heartland often speaks louder than shouting. The horses themselves become part of the story. Amy notices how they move around Nathan, how they calm in his presence, how they trust him almost instantly. It stirs something in her, pride mixed with doubt, admiration tangled with unease. She has always been the one with the gift, but now she sees that gift reflected in someone else, and it unsettles her as much as it excites her. In that tension lies the seed of both conflict and connection. The ranch, steady and familiar, feels different with Nathan walking its fields, his boots leaving prints in the soil, prints that cannot be erased. Family loyalty, trust, and love will all be tested because in Heartland, the ranch is not just land, it is legacy, and every person who steps onto it becomes part of that legacy, whether they are wanted or not. Nathan's place is still uncertain, but one truth is clear. His presence has already changed everything. The nights at Heartland are quiet. The stars scatter across the sky like sparks of hope, and it is in this stillness that emotions begin to surface. Amy finds herself walking near the stables, the air cool, the silence broken only by the soft breath of the horses. She does not expect to see Nathan there, yet he is, standing with a lantern in hand, the warm glow falling across his face, his shadow stretching long against the barn wall. The moment feels accidental, but it lingers like fate. Their conversations begin small, about horses, about work, about the little things that fill the ranch with life. But beneath those words lies something heavier, a quiet pull neither of them can ignore. Amy has known love, she has lost it. She has buried it deep in her heart where no one could reach it, and yet Nathan's presence stirs something she thought she had locked away forever. It frightens her, but it also reminds her that her heart still beats, still longs, still hopes. Nathan does not push, he does not demand, he simply exists near her, his calm nature creating a space where Amy can breathe. He listens when she speaks. He notices what others overlook. He sees the weight she carries and respects it without trying to take it away. And this, more than anything, begins to draw her closer. It is not grand gestures or declarations. It is the quiet comfort of knowing someone understands without words. The family notices. Even before Amy admits it, Lou sees the way Amy's eyes soften when Nathan is near. Jack catches the small smile she tries to hide. Tim, ever protective, grows restless, his warnings sharp, his concern loud, because for him, Amy's heart is not something to be tested. But Amy knows that what she feels is not weakness. It is strength returning. It is a spark she thought was gone forever, and it scares her almost as much as it excites her. The horses mirror this growing bond. Spartan, once only Amy's shadow, now tolerates Nathan with surprising ease. A restless colt follows Nathan as if drawn to him, and even the most untamed spirits seem to calm in his presence. Amy watches, and in those moments she sees not just a man but a partner, someone who shares the same unspoken language with the creatures she loves most, and through them, with her. Yet the path of the heart is never simple. The camera captures fleeting touches, glances that last too long, silences charged with meaning. Amy stands at the edge of possibility, torn between fear of loss and the chance of love. Nathan's past remains a mystery, his story unfinished, and Amy must decide if she is ready to trust again, ready to let someone step into the spaces she has kept locked for so long. The tension grows not in chaos, but in the quiet moments where everything unspoken feels louder than words. This is not the end of Amy's story. It is the beginning of a choice, a question that will shape season 19. Can she let go of the past enough to let someone new in, or will her fear of heartbreak keep her bound to memories she cannot change? The screen fades to black, leaving only the sound of a horse's steady breath and the echo of a heart learning to beat again. The days at Heartland do not pass without trials, because where there are horses, there are always risks, and where there is family, there are always storms. The screen cuts to a wild rescue. Amy on horseback chasing down a frightened mare that has broken free into the open fields. The wind tears through her hair, her voice calling out with urgency, but this time she is not alone. Nathan rides alongside her, his movement steady, his focus sharp. The two work in rhythm without even speaking, and together they corner the mare, bringing her to safety. The moment is raw, powerful, and unplanned. It shows us that their connection is not just in quiet glances, but in action, in the way they face danger side by side. But storms do not only strike the open fields, they strike inside the home too. Lou faces fierce opposition in her role as mayor. Long hours at council meetings leave her torn between duty and family. Jack, always the backbone, grows tired, his body showing the weight of years even though his spirit remains strong. Tim lashes out more often, his pride and his fear of being left behind boiling into arguments that shake the dinner table. The family that has weathered everything begins to feel cracks, and Nathan's presence only sharpens those tensions. Some see him as hope, others as disruption, and Amy stands caught between it all. The screen darkens to the sound of thunder. Rain beating hard against the ranch roof, a storm rolls in, one that puts both horses and people in danger. Fences break, frightened animals scatter. Chaos unfolds in the pouring rain. Amy rushes out, her boots sinking into the mud. Nathan follows, his voice carrying strength through the storm. Together they lead the horses back to safety, their bodies soaked, their determination unwavering. The family joins in, pulling, guiding, shouting against the wind, and in this fight against nature, we see what Heartland has always been, a place where love, courage, and sacrifice stand firm even when everything else falls apart. Then comes the quiet after the storm. The barn lit by lanterns, horses calm again, the family gathered close. Wet, tired, but together, Amy looks at Nathan, and for the first time she sees not just a stranger, not just a mystery, but a man who has already risked himself for her world, for her family, for the place she calls home. In that look lies gratitude, but also something deeper, something she cannot yet name. The music rises softly, carrying the emotion of triumph, of survival, of heart slowly unlocking, and we know this season will not only test them, it will change them forever. Heartland has always been about healing, but healing is never gentle. It comes through trials, through storms, through moments that force us to break before we can grow again. And as the screen fades on Amy's tired but hopeful smile, we feel it. The highs and lows of season 19 will not just be about horses or the ranch, but about the courage to face change and the strength to let love back in. The calm after the storm does not last long, because in Heartland, peace is never permanent. The trailer shifts into rapid cuts, shadows creeping across the land, voices raised, tears falling, and a sense that everything the family has worked for stands at risk. The camera blurs between moments, each one sharper, more painful, more gripping than the last. We see Lou at her mayor's office, her voice breaking as she argues with council members, her role pulling her away from the family she has sworn to protect. Jack at the ranch, gripping the wooden railing with trembling hands, his face heavy with something he does not say. Tim in the barn shouting at Nathan, his words filled with fire. "You're hiding something, and I won't let you hurt her." His voice echoes, the family divided by doubt, each one struggling to hold on. Then the mystery tightens around Nathan. Flashes of his past begin to surface, a photograph falling to the ground, a shadowy figure from his earlier life appearing at the ranch gates. his voice low and steady as he admits to Amy, "There are things about me you don't know, things I'm not proud of." The screen cuts before she can answer, leaving only her eyes wide and uncertain, the tension unbearable because the truth could either destroy him or draw them closer. The danger grows, not only from secrets but from life itself. The trailer cuts to a wild chase at night, headlights piercing the darkness, Amy on horseback racing against time, Nathan running through the storm, Jack shouting Amy's name as she disappears into the fields. The music swells, heavy and urgent, each image more chaotic than the last. A family member collapsing to the ground, a horse trapped in a raging river, Amy crying out in desperation, her voice echoing through the screen, and then silence, a silence that feels like the edge of heartbreak. The cliffhanger sharpens in one final flash. Amy standing at a crossroad, tears in her eyes, Nathan beside her, his hand reaching out but not quite touching hers, her voice trembling as she whispers, "I don't know if I can trust you." And the screen cuts to black, the sound of a single heartbeat pounding in the dark. The silence shattered by the words, "This season every secret will be revealed. Every choice will matter and nothing will ever be the same again." The music rises, sharp and fast like a gallop that cannot be stopped. The screen flashes through moments too powerful to ignore. Amy riding at dawn, her hair catching the golden light. Nathan working with a wild stallion, sweat on his brow, his eyes filled with determination. Lou standing strong at a podium, her voice clear as she fights for what she believes. Jack smiling through tears as he watches his family gathered at the ranch table. And Tim gripping the reins of a horse with fire in his soul, proving that even his stubbornness comes from love. The cuts come quicker, each one layered with emotion, each one carrying us closer to the edge of what Heartland is about to become. The trailer builds to its highest pitch, Amy and Nathan side by side, guiding frightened horses through a storm, their voices shouting, their hands working together. Then silence, a softer cut, Amy brushing Spartan's mane under the stars, her voice low as she whispers, "You've always carried me through." Nathan watching from a distance, the weight of unspoken words between them. The screen holds that silence, and then breaks it with the thunder of hooves, the rush of family arguments, the crash of doors slamming, and the raw echo of Amy's laughter in a rare moment of peace, reminding us that even through struggle, joy finds a way. The montage explodes, Lou embracing Katie with tears in her eyes, Jack falling to his knees to comfort a horse in pain, Tim throwing a punch in defense of his family, Nathan standing face to face with the past he tried to outrun, Amy breaking down in tears only to rise again stronger than before, her voice steady as she says, "This ranch is more than land, it is home, and I will protect it with everything I am." The words hang in the air as the music cuts to silence once more. Then comes the final build, quick flashes like lightning, a kiss almost shared but broken by fear, a hand reaching out in the dark, the sound of a gunshot in the distance, the ranch gates swinging open at night, and Amy standing tall in the field, her silhouette outlined against a burning sunset, Spartan by her side, Nathan just a step behind. The screen fades to black and the title card crashes onto the screen with power. Heartland Season 19, coming 2025. The music slows. Softer now, emotional, the final shot returns, Amy and Nathan silhouetted against the horizon. Not touching. Not yet, but close enough that hope feels alive. The narrator's voice steady, filled with promise. Love, loss, and the courage to begin again. Heartland returns. The screen fades out, leaving only silence, a silence that waits to be filled when the season begins.